Hey guys, it's LegoBuilder4 here, and I'm back with another video. I apologize for not uploading yesterday. I was busy visiting some family. So anyway, without further ado, in today's video, as you read the thumbnail, to honor the Halloween season, as we're getting a bit closer to Halloween, I am going to be doing, I'm going to be reacting, rather, to a few animated stories. Now, all of these stories are by Wancy Entertainment, so go make sure to check out their channel. I'll leave a link down in the description below. And without further ado, let's get into this video. I'm already creeped out because I have seen the picture for the thumbnail, I suppose, so it looks pretty creepy. Late night delivery story. It's about a pizza delivery story, so.
I'll never forget this night. The pizza place I worked at was about to close, and I was getting ready to go home when the phone rang. I was working the counter alone that night, so I was taking calls. I picked up the phone. There was complete silence, so I hung up. About a minute later, the phone rings again, so I pick up again. Still silence. I was about to hang up again when I heard the very weak and cold voice of an old woman on the other end. She said she wanted a regular pie delivered.
If he could see that girl
I remained polite on the phone, but on the inside I was screaming.
I would hope he wouldn't deliver the pizza.
I just wanted to get home and end my shift. I called out to my boss that somebody is requesting a delivery. He told me I had to go. I was upset at first.
I mean, I would be too.
I realized it's another tip, and the old ones usually tip the most, so I decided it was okay.
Still.
I took down the address and told her I would be there soon.
Now I'm told I have to go make another delivery anyway.
I thought that was rude, but I ignored it and yelled to the chef that I needed one regular. My boss told me to just go home after the delivery as the place would be closed.
Oh man, don't smoke,
so a little
guys.
before 10 o'clock, I got in my car and put the address into my GPS. The house was 7 miles away.
Not bad.
The GPS took me to the quiet side of town.
Oh man.
I arrived to the
you get
house.
to a neighborhood like that, that's the neighborhood you don't deliver
house
to.
On a very quiet and empty block. I took the pizza and walked up to the door and rang the
these horror stories that makes me not ever want to become a delivery person for like any company.
I hoped that she hadn't given me the wrong address.
These stories, man.
I rang the doorbell again. There was still no answer. I was about to give up when I turned my head and saw somebody standing at the window. I got a little freaked out and backed up at first, but I eventually got closer to the window to see the person. It was an old woman, probably in her late 70s.
Looks like a really old man with long hair.
Expression. I yelled to her through the glass that I had her pizza. She didn't react to what I said, so I screamed it louder.
She can't hear.
A big smile ran across her face.
What's wrong with her teeth?
Not a pleasant, genuine smile. It was a smile that sent chills down my spine.
Nah, man, she's just excited to get her pizza.
Still remember that exact face
she's been waiting for that pizza for the whole 7 miles it took you to get there.
I decided that I was freaked out enough and got back to my car and set the pizza in the passenger seat.
You didn't give her the pizza?
I had to text my boss about this.
What's wrong with you?
I shot him a quick text and started my car, ready to get the hell away. I looked to my right to get one more look, to see the woman standing right outside my passenger side window, giving me the same stare she had given me before.
Yeah, she's just mad you didn't leave the pizza. Like, what's wrong with you?
Down the street, not
Dude, she just wanted her pizza.
My boss never made me do a late night delivery again.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do a late night delivery after that either. Is the moon gonna, like, be the face of the woman or something? No? Okay. Oh, yeah. My bad. 3 of these stories are by Wancy Entertainment. This one's by Llama Arts. I'll leave both of their links down in the description. My bad. Yeah, anyway, so that's the first one. Now we got 3 more to go. So, yeah, let's get to it. Okay, guys, so this one is by Wancy Entertainment, and it is the scary true horror story about the tent in the forest. Now, I'm already creeped out. I got goosebumps. I'm getting paranoid because that's just something that I get, you know? I keep wanting to, like, check behind me and make sure there's nothing there, even though I know there's nothing there. Or I keep wanting to, like, is there something in my closet, even though every time I, like... See, I'm just getting paranoid. But anyway, every time I look over here, I can already see my closet, but... Yeah, I'm just getting, you know, I don't handle horror stories very well, but, for some reason I'm very attracted to them, so don't judge me. Anyway, let's get on to it. Alright.
I grew up in Bradford, Pennsylvania. Have any of you ever heard of Zippo lighters?
Really?
They're from here.
These ads are getting annoying.
A thick forest surrounds the town, along with most of the neighborhoods. My family lives sort of on the outskirts of Bradford. Of course, much like the town itself, our house was also surrounded by forest. If you took in the scene from our back porch, you would see nothing but sprawling trees for miles. I tell you this so you can gain a sense of isolation. Out at my house, you could scream at the top of your lungs, and no one would come to help you.
Oh my gosh.
This happened back in the summer of 1996. I was 11 years old at the time. I had a childhood friend named Marty, who was the same age. Our fathers worked together and knew each other well. He would come over almost every Friday to hang out. Marty and I found ourselves hiking through the trees as we often did.
Is that music?
However,
just
we
part
were
of the
feeling
video?
a bit daring and went further into the forest than we usually did.
I guess
There
so,
was this
right?
barrier of trees that we would never go past, simply because I didn't know the
It's
area
not
beyond
really
that point.
music and these kind of things.
We
but
continued
whatever.
past the barrier into uncharted territory.
Oh boy.
We eventually came upon a clearing. In the middle of this clearing was an old, disheveled-looking
Run.
tent. Being the curious young men we were, we of course had to see inside.
No.
As we approached, I
Don't.
could feel the temperature around me
Oh
drop.
gosh.
I'm no stranger to the cold, but this was in the middle of summer. Even at my age, I could sense that there was something truly sinister
So you
inside
run.
this tent.
I'm getting so
part
many
of me was
goosebumps right
screaming
now.
to
I don't want to
hightail
know
it
what's
out of
inside
there.
the tent.
But my own curiosity
man,
pushed me
A
forward.
ghost, a dead body.
We both
don't
stopped
know.
just outside the
I don't
tent,
really want to know.
and suddenly, we were both too frightened to move any further.
Oh gosh.
We were both frozen in place,
Oh,
staring at the open
gosh.
flap
What-
of the
what's
tent
inside?
as
What do
it
you see?
swayed from side to
You
side.
just saw something.
The sky seemed to grow even darker since we
Didn't
discovered
see
this
anything. We
tent,
saw like the tent.
and though we were
flapping.
standing
Alright.
directly in front of it,
No, don't
we
go
could not
forward.
see inside.
Don't look inside.
What happened next is the reason that I still struggle with alcoholism.
Oh gosh.
A dark hand slowly emerged from the tent's opening. It reached out to us, with long black nails
the
protruding
heck,
out from its
man?
fingertips. I'm not ashamed to admit that I pissed myself out of fear. The hand slowly turned and made a beckoning gesture with its index finger. And that's when Marty and I heard a deep, bellowing laughter from inside the tent. I don't remember much
That
about what
laughter,
happened
though.
after that. I just remember me and Marty running for our lives, tearing through the woods and back to my house. I do have a vague memory of me briefly looking behind me as I ran, to see a tall, dark, and human figure standing just outside the tent.
Demon.
Upon returning, Marty immediately called
I'm
his
getting so
mom to come
paranoid right
pick him
now.
up. My mother asked us what was wrong, and we both
There's
explained to
nothing
her
like
that we
there,
saw
right?
some kind of
Nothing.
creature in the forest.
Ugh.
My mother ultimately dismissed our claims, but led us in a prayer while we waited for Marty's mom to arrive. Marty never came back
I'm
after
getting so
that,
paranoid.
and we sort of drifted
Aw.
apart. Sadly, Marty began hanging out with the wrong crowd and began doing hardcore drugs when he was around 14.
Oh, no.
He ended up hanging himself in his bedroom when he was
Oh my
17.
gosh.
As for myself, I suffered from severe night terrors that tormented me for years after that day in the woods.
I don't blame you.
I'm not going to get into what I experienced in my nightmares,
Yeah,
but I will say that I became an alcoholic as a result.
See, that's
After
that's
moving
bad.
far away and attending numerous AA meetings, I'm glad to say that I've turned my life
That's
around,
good.
and I even have a family of my own. I still visit Bradford every now and again to check in on my aging parents. Whenever I'm there, I always set flowers on Marty's grave.
Aw,
I'm still convinced that what we saw that day in the woods contributed to his death.
really?
Now that I have some perspective, I think what Marty and I encountered was a demonic presence. It followed us home and proceeded to turn both of our lives upside down. There were rumors of people worshiping Satan out there in those
Really?
woods around the
Holy
mid to late
cow.
90s. Perhaps they awakened something, and Marty and I just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What the heck? I am so sorry that you had to listen to that for a few moments. Truly, I am. listen to K-pop music. Can you believe this? And if you guys do like K-pop, then I apologize, but personally, I just don't get what the big deal is when you can't understand the lyrics, but I don't know. Maybe it's not the words you like, just the beat or something. I really don't know. Anyway, so 2 down. Now we got 2 more to go. Let's get into them, I suppose. Alright guys, so another one by Wanty Entertainment. This is called The Woman on the Bus. It is apparently a true horror story. Whether you believe it's true or not is up to you. Anyway, let's just get into it. The woman on the bus goes round and round.
This happened when I was on my way to my grandmother's
That's actually terrible
house.
now that I think about it.
On that day, I tried to catch the jeepney because the other buses were already full at 12
What's a
a.m.
jeepney?
I finally found a jeepney, and there were only a few people inside.
I don't know what a jeepney is.
There was a driver,
Please
a
feel
money
free to tell me in the
collector who was
comments.
hanging onto the outside of the vehicle, 2 girls, a few guys, and an old woman.
But I thought this was the
We
woman
were
on the bus. It
road
can't be the
when
woman on
we
the bus if
passed
this is the
by a
jeepney.
mental hospital. Then a lady with a hospital gown on was standing there, pointing her finger out, which meant she wanted a ride.
Well, I know that.
She
I
was
do know that.
bald and her face was pale white.
Is it weird that
The
I think
jeepney
that
stopped
face
next
kind of
to
looks
her,
sweet?
and the inside of the car
Like, it
went
didn't look like an old
silent.
lady.
The streets were covered in fog and darkness, and the light of the jeepney was the only light source.
Again, this says the woman
At
on
the
the bus.
time, I was
I think she
texting my
meant the
grandma
woman on the jeepney.
and said that I was going to be late while glancing at the lady. However, before she stepped on the stairs of the jeepney, the driver abruptly jammed the accelerator and left her behind.
She's mad.
I was confused. It seemed like everyone was too. When we looked over at the driver, he seemed to be
I thought
so
that was the face of the
scared,
old woman.
but
I was like, what?
we didn't know the reason why. I asked him why he left the lady behind.
Gosh, I'm so paranoid.
And he replied with a trembling
so-
voice. He said, "She's not just a lady, ma'am."
Oh,
At that point, the driver looked at the rearview mirror, shut his mouth, and then increased the speed. When I followed his eyes towards the mirror, I saw the lady was running towards the jeepney with a weird pose and an abnormal speed. She was so fast that I couldn't see her face clearly, but her dress was visible. It was covered with blood. The collector, who was hanging outside, jumped inside and
I don't
then
like this
yelled
story.
to the driver, "Faster! She's getting closer!"
anyone got a
People
gun?
inside of the jeepney
That'd be
were
helpful.
getting scared. I was the closest
Don't
to the
show her
door,
face again.
and out of
Oh
nowhere,
gosh.
I saw the lady
Dude,
jump
come
on
on,
the
man.
vehicle. She then slowly hung onto the door of the jeepney, and finally she lifted her face. She had bruises all over her face, and she was smiling
Okay.
at us with sharp teeth and big, deep black eyes. My heart
I've
almost
never.
stopped
Oh.
and everybody in the jeepney screamed. I quickly hit her with my bag, and she tumbled down from the jeepney. However, the moment she got off, I saw her standing.
Oh, no.
She looked at me and then laughed like a demon.
Ew.
Not long after, the jeepney finally reached the station. Everyone hurried off the car. I got off and handed my payment to the guy. Then I went to the 7-Eleven nearby and bought some snacks to eat.
My heart is
dinner.
pounding, man.
I was at the counter thinking about what just happened. And then the cashier suddenly asked me, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. I'll just say that I saw a crazy lady on the road when we were riding on the jeepney."
He's gonna tell her a ghost story?
I said, and then I couldn't believe his
Yep.
response. "I know her.
Wait, what?
She had cancer, and the moment she lost all of her hair, she went crazy, laughing all the time, hurting herself, and even threatening to
Oh my
kill people.
gosh.
That's why her family eventually moved her out to the mental hospital. But after a week, she tried to escape, got hit by a jeepney, and died," he said. I was
Yep,
shocked,
ghost story.
and goosebumps were all over my body.
Goosebumps weren't already all over your body? Like,
still
I'm getting
remember
goosebumps
the
and I'm
plate
just
number of
watching
the
an
jeepney.
animated version.
Well, for my privacy, I'm not going to mention the number, but after he told me, I thanked him, got my change, and looked for the jeepney I was on. The moment I found the jeepney again, I froze. The jeepney that I rode was the same one that hit and killed the lady.
Okay, yep. We all saw it. We all saw it. We all saw it. Now you get to see my recommended videos. There you go. Yeah, I'm a Clash of Clans person. Then we got a bunch of other horror stories. Alright, so, you don't really get to see really what I watch. You just see Clash of Clans and horror stories, which is what we're already watching. So, Anyway, so, gotta loosen up, That was terrifying. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna take a second to recover, and then we still got one more to go. Alright guys, so this next one is called I Don't Know What Should I Do With Him in My Dream, again by Wancy Entertainment. So, I took my quick moment to recover. All good now, though I still got a few goosebumps. And, this one's definitely gonna give me more goosebumps, because you see the thumbnail. That's creepy. I sort of don't want to hit the play button, but here I am doing it anyway. The demonic dreams are... Ooh.
So I'm here to post about a dream that I've been having as of lately.
Gosh dang it.
I've been having the same dream, and the story
Why
is
did I
very
choose
simple.
this video?
I am
There are
on my
videos that are
laptop at my
creepy,
desk,
and then there are
and
videos that
my
are just
older
downright
sister
scary.
is writing in
I
her
think
diary
the last
in her
video was
bed,
downright scary,
and
or at
an
least in my
extremely
opinion it was.
tall guy keeps
And I think this is
trying
another
to
one.
enter our room. He was literally so big.
Okay,
that
well I
his
can take
chest
that. It's when they
touched
show the like
threshold,
creepy
and I
faces that's
couldn't
like,
see his
ooh.
upper shoulder at all. My sister and I knew that he
Getting
wouldn't
so
be able
paranoid.
to come in anyway, so we didn't care about anything and did our
You
own
ignored a
things.
giant thing trying
He
to break
bumped
into
his
your
body,
room? I
tried
mean, I
to
know this
come
is a
in,
dream,
then
but...
finally gave up a while
the
later
heck?
and went back. And at that moment, I woke up. But recently, he keeps cutting his body little by little. By the third day, he hadn't been able to come in, but the day before yesterday, he was in front of the door, standing with his ankles. He cut off his foot. Of course, he
Ew.
couldn't come in either, and just yesterday, he cut off half of his calves. His shoulder was seen for the first time, but he has also kept bumping against the door. And this time was no different. What happens to me next if he cuts himself all the way to his knees? Second, it's...
Hang on. You need to take into strong consideration here. Do I want to keep going? I don't have to keep going. I could just end the video here and just be like, yeah, well, if you guys want to see the video, just go check out his channel. This video was posted very recently, so... Or we could finish this video, and I am not going to be able to sleep tonight. For the views, Lego Builder, for the views! Alright. I'll do it for you guys. So that way you guys don't have to use more of your time to see what happens next.
And I came back to post my recent experience.
Don't tell me
later,
someone's gonna
my
respond.
worries became a reality. I had a dream again that day, and this time he really cut himself to his knees. I'm not going to explain all the details, but all I could see was his abnormally big mouth, and he was smiling brightly. Then I woke up. I was too scared to go back to sleep after just seeing his face. After that, I gave up on sleeping for a couple of days. I drank all night with my friends.
That's not healthy,
went
though.
to a handicraft workshop
Fun
run
fact,
by my mom.
you could die
I was
if you don't get enough sleep.
And napped for a while, lying down on my mom's lap when I felt too tired. Then I fell asleep, shallowly,
And she left you.
on the sofa, and the man was there in my dream as usual. Fortunately, I was able to wake up right away because I didn't sleep deeply. However, being scared, I called my aunt, who was interested in spiritual existence at that time. When I confessed that I was having a hard time because of this, she told me that she knew a shaman and asked me to go there
I'm not
with
gonna be
her.
able to sleep tonight.
No one
No way.
believed such a thing because my family were all sincere Christians.
That's good.
My aunt was also a Christian, but she took me to the shaman,
I
saying
didn't
that
say
the
that's
method
good. I don't really
would be
know.
much better than
because
just
they have like
praying.
spiritual stuff, right?
Well, well, I guess these poor little lambs must have been desperate.
That girl's
That
creepy.
day, when I went to see the shaman, she said this to us just as I went inside. When my aunt asked what I should do next, the shaman said, "I'll give you an amulet. Put it on your door." Because we don't know if he was just joking around or doing it for a reason, we have to give it a few more days.
Getting paranoid.
Then she continued, "After I came back home with the amulet, I put it on my door without my parents knowing. I fell asleep in my room comfortably for the first time, and there was the man in my dream as I expected. But this time he wasn't standing, just sitting by the door and staring at me. I was inwardly admiring the effect of the amulets when I saw him like that. Just then, he began to imitate my dad's
Oh, no.
voice. Lord, please take care of my family and look after my lovely
Gosh dang it.
daughters as if they were your eyes." He said a prayer like that
so
almost
creepy.
every day, and while laughing, the man just recited the exact same
Wake
prayer
up.
with my dad. Tears flooded with fear, and
You
whether
can
he
cry
thought
in
that
your
it
own
was funny to
dreams?
see me crying, he began to mimic the barking of my dog this time. It was just surprisingly
Oh,
the
you
same.
can start a beat like that.
He would scratch the door
Oh.
and whine when I closed my door to study, and the man made
What
the
the
same
fuck?
sound, scratching his fingernails on the door. The next was the voice of my friend. The moment I heard his voice, I was so scared and
Gosh,
creeped
dang it.
out. Eventually, I could wake up shortly
That
afterwards
took you long
while I was
enough.
crying in my dream. I called my aunt right away, and we went back to the shaman again. And I think we have to raise our prayer to God and do some exorcism sooner or later. I have been awake since that day. Of course, I've been eating my meals normally, but I kept losing weight because of a lack of
You
sleep.
can lose weight from lack
I
of
was
sleep.
going
Now that is
crazy.
information to me. I just
I'm
know you.
still
I
terrified,
knew you could die if
even
you don't
when
get enough
posting
sleep.
this right now. If anyone has experienced the same thing as me, please help me out.
Okay, creepy, creepy, creepy. Scary, scary, scary. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Yeah. That was creepy. Anyway, I'm gonna go edit all this together. I'm gonna slowly recover. Hey, that rhymed. Anyway, so that's, woo! Okay, so that's it for now. If you guys would like to see me do more reactions to stuff like this, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. We'll probably get back to Legos tomorrow, and I'll see you all in the next one. Oh, and remember to like and subscribe, of course, and turn that notification bell on so you know the next time I upload. That was scary. Yeah, bye.